Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Report. It's February 10th, 2025, and, well, not quite the sunny day. It was sunshine. I could have gone to the Pine Barrens, but I didn't, unfortunately, because there's just so much of this icy, slippery cement. And you could see here what the sky looked like around late morning. You could see we had this deck of clouds that was coming in. We had just, this deck of clouds had just left, and this deck of clouds was coming in, and then, you can see it kind of mainly over the western part of Long Island and New Jersey. But if you were east, it wasn't as thick. So if I was east, I probably would have been okay. But you could definitely see that there was, decent amount of clouds development today, as I expected, and a little bit breezier than I expected too. This is the current satellite image. High clouds now streaming in, and we'll look at our. I still managed to take a little walk tonight, though, over to, we'll look at that in a moment, but I still took a walk and enjoyed the moonlit woods at Twin Lakes. You can already see some of that cirrus streaming in. I couldn't even see it, but the camera was picking it up. I could see it over there. We still already had some of that cirrus streaming in. The moonlight with the snow was pretty, though. There are a few pines there as well, so, yeah, that was a nice photo right there with the Pleiades right there, or the Little Dipper right there, with this beautiful pine with some snow on it. And another photo here. And this was Twin Lakes at night. I know, technically not supposed to be in there at night, but it's a whole different world at night. It's quite pretty. However, very hard walking on this stuff, this very slippery snow we had. And here's the moon shining over the lake. There you could see, and the Wantaw Parkway there in the distance. Quite pretty at night. I'll do that again, but maybe without the snow, all right, because it's definitely a little too treacherous to walk at night. And then this is what we have walking around the night. You can see the black ice that we've got that is forming tonight as the temperatures are dropping again below freezing. So looking at the map here of the country, you could see these various winter storm warnings and winter storm watches for various winter storms, and also cold entering the North Dakota. That is extreme cold warnings that they're going to be dealing with. And you can see here's the next storm that winter weather advisory has now been issued for most of the Jersey Shore, with the heaviest snow, 6+ inches, being in the southern part, Atlantic City on southward, and no advisory for our area because we're not really going to see that much in the way of accumulation with this storm. And you can see some of the cold weather that they have. So yeah, they're below zero right there. 9 below in Bismarck. Yeah, that may be a little too cold. I'm not asking for it to be that cold, but single digits and teens would be nice. So let's look at our current conditions outside, and it's really not all that cold tonight. 28 degrees at Islip. Dew point is down to 12. North wind at west wind at 8. And over at West Hampton, we're at 18 degrees. So they are seeing some radiational cooling, but there's still a light northwest wind, but I guess they're getting some radiational cooling after hitting 36. So if we look at the observations from Islip today, you'll see there was a lot of cloud development during the day. It was a little bit better toward the afternoon, but you could see cloud development here for a good part of the day here. This is a little misleading. You can see in the morning we had a overcast sky. It really didn't break until 10 o'clock, and then we had some scattered clouds around throughout the day. And breezy conditions, too. We had some wind gusts up at times. Nothing too crazy, but it was a little bit on the breezy side. So let's go look at our highs across the area today, and the lows are probably the current temperatures that we have right now. So the highs got into the mid-30s across much of Long Island, and I'm sure Jersey might have been even warmer than that. Yep, 42 in Toms River. And again, the current temperatures are probably the lows, so 18 at West Hampton, 28, 32 in the city, and holding on to 21 in the Pine Barrens, west of Toms River, those high clouds. And those clouds thickening are probably going to put a lid on radiational cooling, but I still think the Pine Barrens are going to see teens. I don't think we'll see single digits in West Hampton, but then again, we've been surprised before, I guess. So let's pan out on the satellite. As you can see, our next storm system here. Here it is. There's a whole parade of them, actually. So let's go look at the weather map. And you'll see there's a high pressure. There's a low over here, a front over here, And here's your storm system. Actually, one storm system here and then another one in the southwest. We'll have to deal with 2 this week, and then another one on the weekend. So the parade, unfortunately, continues. The Weather Service doesn't really have a briefing for this storm because, again, it's mainly going to be the south of the area. And you can see where the winter storm watches are. I meant the winter storm warnings, again, for South Jersey, Atlantic County, southward, and then winter weather advisories for most of the Jersey Shore, including Toms River. So let's go look at the models, and we'll close this out, and take a look at the models. And I still got the fan on. It's hot in here. I made the mistake of putting the heater radiator back on in the kitchen because the kitchen was getting too cold, but now it's just so hot in here. I was feeling fine, and I feel like now I'm out of breath that I'm back in this place. Cannot breathe in here. So I got the windows open, the fan on. I know it's crazy. This is just what a way to live. But anyway, let's go take a look at the models here as we head into this week, and hopefully they don't put the laundry thing on. We'll keep these fans going for now. If they do, I'll have to pause the video and turn the fans off and close the windows. Hopefully by then it'll be cooled off enough, and hopefully they don't put it on. But anyway, you'll see as we head into tomorrow that there's that high. Kind of, you can see over Dakota, they're going to have nice cold weather over there. But we're on the fringe of that. We got the storm passing off to the south tomorrow. This is the GFS. But you can see most of the steadier, heavier snow is off to the south. And then behind that storm, just a little bit of a break on Wednesday. High pressure tries to nose down, at least keep us dry. But then here comes the return of precipitation, mixed precipitation changing to rain Wednesday night into the first part of Thursday. And then that moves on out. And then we have a nice high moving in for Valentine's Day, which hopefully will be a very nice day. But then when that moves out, here we are for the weekend with the next storm system. And this could be a real soaker from Saturday night, lasting right through Sunday. It's going to be lingering around all day, and we're going to get a lot of rain from that thing. So that is what it looks like into the weekend. So anyway, focused on this week in this weather update video. So let's go look at the HRRR here. And so here's the HRRR. You see that high there over us. It moves offshore. That allows this precipitation here to make its way into southern New Jersey. And you see right around, I would say, right around after 9 o'clock or so, it starts moving into Ocean County and then into our area probably by 10 o'clock as light snow, very light snow. And you can see, really does not look like we're going to see all that much. It's like it may light snow for an hour or two, and then it's pushed down to the south. The accumulating snow is mainly going to be to the south of us, I think. And then you can see the heavier snow is really staying to the south, like really over to South Jersey. Storm isn't that impressive of a storm. It's another weak low. You can see the front kind of just hangs up there. And then for Wednesday, we're probably dealing with a lot of clouds. And then here comes, all right, well, this is as far as we've got. But then the next system would be for into Thursday, all right, beyond the HRRR. So we could probably look at the NAM for that. We will look at the NAM 12 as well as how it handles this. The NAM's a little more impressive with the snowfalls you see here. All right, and then one break, and then here we go with the rain on Thursday. Though it probably won't be a soaker of a rain, but if we look at the total accumulated precip of both storms, you could see we would see maybe an inch. So it is actually the NAM is producing an inch of liquid equivalent combined with both storms here. But I think I want to take one storm at a time here. We'll focus more on the storm for tomorrow in this video. But you get the general idea that this is going to be an active week. So let's go to the NAM 3. And this, again, is the 0Z. So the NAM is a lot heavier with the snow. And actually brings some dark blue over us. So it's like it has a very showery look to it. And if the NAM was correct, we would see a lot more in the way of snowfall. And then the NAM would bring in the next system, again, mixed precipitation Wednesday night into Thursday, and more rain with that. But again, we'll take one storm at a time. So this model obviously is going to have a much heavier snowfall. Yeah, this model is saying we're going to see like 5 or 6 inches. I don't think we're going to see that at all. I don't know why the NAM is doing this, but the NAM does that from time to time. Let's go to the HRRR, which is definitely more sane. And the HRRR obviously showing that we are only going to get maybe a coating to an inch on Long Island, and then 2 inches to the south in Toms River, and even 3 inches down, even down in the southernmost part of Jersey. I think it's underestimating it a little. I think it'll be a little more closer to 5 inches. So that's what we're looking at right now. All right, we'll draw the map now. I guess let's do that. Draw the map. I always use this as my map. We'll remove the satellite image here from it if that loads. All right, we'll move this image here, and we'll just use place labels, and we'll just show you what we're going to get here. And it's really not going to be very much. That's why I'm not going to really make that elaborate of a map, but we will go ahead and do that and look and show you what we've got. So we'll start first of all down here at the top here, and honestly, I think we're in the northernmost limit of snowfall here at this point, where I think we're going to see northernmost limit, I think, pretty much. We're going to see probably trace to 2 inches in this area right here, right? Trace to most likely just 1 inch, all right? Then nothing off to the north. If you're north of, say, in the Hudson Valley, you're not going to get anything, all right? And then we're going down to the Jersey Shore, and that area is going to probably get probably 2 to 3 inches. I'm thinking 2 to 3. I don't think it'd be much more than this. 2 to 3 inches. All right, in Toms River. All right, and then your higher amounts are going to be a little further off to the south. So if you want Atlantic County and this general area right here is where you're going to see your 4 to 6 inch amounts. I don't think we're going to see too many 6+ inch amounts from this storm. Obviously, the NAM is juicier, but this is generally what I'm thinking here at this point. So we'll close this down and get this out of the way. Go back to the models here. At least this is what I'm thinking. So we have a few more models to look at. We can look at the high-resolution GFS, which we'll see probably echoes pretty much echoes what the HRRR is saying. So again, I don't really see a large accumulating snowfall for our area. For us, this is again the GFS here, right? As you can see, again, most of that heavier snow is well off to the south. We're mainly in the light stuff. All right, let's look at the European. Euro also definitely looks like it's trending in that direction. So if we look at this one event here in the liquid precipitation, and honestly, the NAM is the odd model out, and I think it's just way too amplified. So I'm not going to show that again. But let's look at the liquid equivalent precipitation from this storm here, right? And if we look at the liquid equivalent, see, it's really not all that much. For our area, we get very little, less than 1/10 of an inch. If you're in the Jersey Shore, you probably get 1/4 of an inch liquid equivalent, and then if you're in South Jersey, closer to 1/2 an inch liquid equivalent, like Cape May. That seems to be what I'm thinking. We can look at the high-resolution GFS as well. Similar idea here. Looking at the European, similar idea with the European. And then the NAM, obviously, is the one that's the odd one out. So if we look at the NAM, it definitely is heavier. So the NAM is a little too amplified with this system. Because the system right now, if we look at it on the radar, it's not all that impressive. Yeah, this is it right here. This is it. Mostly, we're seeing a lot of rain, some icing. It's not really going to amplify into a really major coastal low. And this is something, like I said, we brought up last night that we haven't seen major coastal low storms since we had these like overrunning events, basically, and thumps. That's what we've been getting this year. Odd to not have any coastal storms. But anyway, this is generally the... we can look at one more model. We'll go to the HDRPS as well. Yeah, HDRPS also showing most of that precipitation off to the south. And it does do a total snowfall as well. So, yeah, this is pretty close to what I think is actually going to happen, I think. I don't think HDRPS does FGen. It does not. And NAM, NAM we know is skewed, so I'd have to look at the GFS and see if FGen, as far as FGen goes, that the best at that is going to be off to the south. And that's, look at this, well off to the south. Yeah, well off to the south. Not even close on this. Or so we look at the NAM. Even the NAM has most of it off to the south. There's some pretty insane, heavy precipitation over the southern Delmarva there. But not really seeing a lot over our area. So that's what leads me to believe I don't think we're going to see heavy snowfalls, even in Toms River. It'll probably be 2 to 3 inches, like I said. And over Long Island, I think it's going to be around an inch to a coating, and maybe some areas where it might get up to 2 inches. Maybe on the South Shore, but honestly, that's right now what I'm thinking. So let's go back to the HRRR. We'll look at our dew points and wind flow. Explain to you why we're seeing what we're seeing here. And obviously, we've got the north winds right now, and precip type will not be an issue with this because you can see dew points definitely staying pretty low here. The winds do go from north to west tomorrow and then southwest in the evening, which again is odd with a storm passing off to the south that we would have that. Normally we would have a northeast wind, but we have that south wind. But you see at the same time there's some colder air that's coming down over New England for Wednesday. That's going to stay right in northern New England. We're not going to see any of that. And then as we head into Wednesday, we have an east wind. And we'll probably have plenty of clouds tomorrow and as well as Wednesday. And as far as the temperatures go, with that cloud cover, tonight we might see, again, the Pine Barrens could see teens. Most of us will see 20s. And tomorrow the highs will probably get into the mid, maybe upper 30s, similar to where they were today. I do have to do the almanac before we end this video, just to go over that. And then tomorrow night, not really cooling off that much of the cloud cover, dropping to around freezing. And then Wednesday, obviously, still staying in the clouds, and we're going to have temperatures only in the mid-30s for Wednesday. So we will go look at RGM, but that should back up everything we're seeing here. We have the 0Z RGM, so we'll look at that out to as long as we can. So you can see tomorrow, high and mid-level clouds stream in, high overcast, thickening up as the day goes on. Cloudy overnight, obviously, and that's as far as we got on the RGM. I can look at the 18Z run of the RGM. You can see, yeah, we just stay in the clouds, and after you're well up in northern New England, you'll have sunshine, but we're going to pretty much be stuck in the clouds for tomorrow and Wednesday as well. So, yeah, that front's, like I said, it's going to get stuck, and then the next system comes Wednesday night. So that's pretty much what it looks like. Let's go and look at our almanac for today at iSlip. Our high was 36, our low was 27, right at average. The high was 4 degrees below normal. The low was 2 degrees above normal. So it puts us right around average for this time of the year. So that wraps up this Long Island weather report. Hopefully you did get to enjoy the sunshine. I wish I did enjoy some of it today because now we're going to have to wait till Friday to see it. And again, be careful out there because we got this ice. So we got another photo of it. Yeah, look at that. Be careful of that ice there. You see it all. It's all freezing up. It's a very wet snow. It's a very wet cement-like snow, and very dangerous to walk around in. And that's why part of the reason I didn't go on any paths today, because I knew it would be really slippery. And again, this stuff, hopefully we can melt some of it, a lot of it on Thursday. Hopefully, I don't know if it'll all be gone. It all depends on how much snow we get tomorrow. So we'll have to see what happens. Tomorrow, though, will be a regular snow. It won't be this messy ice. That's the only good thing. But underneath it, we're still going to have this ice, and we'll have to get rid of both. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do that by Friday, so we still have some snow cover. And we will talk about that, I think, as we head into tomorrow a little more. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Good night, and be careful if you're outside tonight because, again, there is a lot of ice out there.